Today we are going to learn about representing real numbers on the number line through successive magnification. Let us take for example locating 2 power 776. Let us draw a number line which is an integer line, number line, in which we mark 0 at a point, and left side to the 0 are negative integers and right side to the 0 are positive integers. We have to locate the position of 2 power 776, so which is in between 2 and 3, so which is in between 2 and 3. So magnify the space between 2 and 3, magnify the space between 2 and 3, and that is magnification. When we magnify the space between 2 and 3, it is divided into 10 parts like this. That means the space between 2 and 3 is magnified and divided into 10 parts. That here we mark as 2 and the end point is we mark as 3. So in between there are 10 parts like this, 2.1 and 2.2, 2.3 and 2.4, 2.5, 2.6 and 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, and next that is 3. Again we observe the given problem, it is 2.776, that means 2.7 after 7. So that is in between 2.7 and 2.8. So again magnify that space between 2.7 and 2.8, and here again we draw a line and we magnify 2.7 and 2.8 like that. Hence we find 2.7 at one end and 2.8 at one end, and that could be divided into 10 equal parts to get 2.77. So mark on this 2.7 on one side and 2.8 on one side, and the remaining parts are like this, 2.71 and 72, 2.73, 74, 75, 76, 77 and 78, 79. Again we compare the given problem with the given real number line. Here we got there is a thousandth place, that is 6. So again we should take 2.77 and 2.78. In between the required number is to be located. So again take these two numbers and magnify the space between them like this. So at one end we find 2.77 and the other end at 2.78. In between these we again divide into 10 parts, 2.77 and 2.78, and the 10 parts are 2.771 and 772, 773, 774, 2.775, 2.776, which is the required point, 2.777, 2.778, 2.778. That is our problem. Similarly, visualize 5.28 bar. Here we know that 5.28 bar is a recurring decimal where the numbers, these numbers 28 are repeating infinite times. So this whole cannot be represented on a number line, but we try to at least a 4 up to 4 decimal parts we can visualize here. Similarly, take a integer line, mark 10 parts on it, in which 0 at a point at a place, and left side to 0 is negative integers and right side to 0 positive numbers. The required number is 5.28, hence we should concentrate the space between 5 and 6. Hence draw a line and mark these equal parts on it and magnify the space between 5 and 6. Then we find 5 on one side and 6 on other side. That could be the other parts are in between them are pointed like this: 5.1, 5.2, 5.3 and so on. The numbers are like this. Even though we could not find the required number because it is 5.28, the 100th place is 28, so it is in between the 5.2 and 5.3. So again draw a line and magnify the space between 5.2 and 5.3, hence 5.2 at one end and 5.3 at other end. In between them we again divided the space into 10 places, 5.22 at one side and 5.3 other side. The numbers which are to be find in between these two in the 100th place are like this: 5.22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again we find 5.28 here and 5.29 here, but the 1000 place is against 2. So again we should magnify these the space between these two and draw a line and magnify the space like this. Hence at one end is 5.28 and the other end is 5.29. Again divide the space between these two into 10 parts like this: 5.28 and 5.29 here. The 10 parts are 5.281 and 282, 283, 284, 285, 286, 287 and 289 and 5.29. Again when we observe the number, the 100th and 1000th place is 8 and 2. Again we have 8 on 10,000th place. So it is in between 5.282 and 283. Again draw a line and magnify the space between 5.282 and 5.283. Then they should be divided into 10 parts as we done in before. So 5.281, the 5.28, the next place is 5.281 and 5.282, 283, 284, 285, 286, 287, 2828 and 2829. Here the number which is in 10,000th place up to 10,000 place we can only visualize on this, but the actual number, factual number is again is minute part. Again in like this, when we do like this we can find the number, but because it is a recurring decimal we could not find actual position of this number, but in the rational number form we can find this number at on rational number form, but in decimal form, because this number is in recurring decimal, we could not find the correct part.